And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the WardiTV Monday, number 28, your weekly dose of open StarCraft. I'm of course host Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. Whew, it has been an intense weekend of StarCraft. So much going on. We are here though to start a fresh new week here on Monday evening even, and we kick things off with our TVP. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Frostline, we have our red Protoss player, our red Protoss from the land of the Netherlands. It is Harstem for Shopify. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, I do apologize. Typically, we try to spread out at the start of the broadcast. When I say we, I mean the casters. I did see the bracket, and I did need to jump on this series for a good reason. We'll get into it. Unfortunately, it looks like Wardi thought the same thing, so we both ended up in the same match. I will do my best to try to find another series after this and try to stumble my way into one of the other portions of the bracket instead. For now, though, we're both going to be jumping into our TVP. Now, when it comes to Harstem and HonMonO, I'm curious to see if Harstem knows anything about HonMonO. I know Harstem, he's less of an active player. Nowadays, he is more of a content creator. Still a strong player in his own right, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if he's familiar with the animal that is HonMonO. Like, he's an animal. I expect all-ins. I expect all-ins, and nothing but all-ins out of HonMonO in this series. And if Harstem is unfamiliar with HonMonO, then I'm going to be concerned. For the most part, a lot of the European players, a lot of the European regulars in online open cups are familiar with HonMonO. I'm referring to players like Geralt, like Christiana, like Night Phoenix, for example, like Jumi as well, right? Like these players that are always on that grind. They're always on that grind, always playing in all these open cups. Harstem is less active. He's less active than those players. So because of that, I would imagine he has less experience with HonMonO. If that's the case, then I'm concerned. If not, if he's familiar enough, then he should be okay. We'll see how safe he does decide to play. Meanwhile, one base all in. Meanwhile, one base all in here out of HonMonO. Meanwhile, in the chat, big shout out to Psycon's Gap. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 5-month subscription. Thank you so much for almost half a year of support. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft as we are getting into our setup here. And again, it's going to be a one base all in by HonMonO. Adept does threaten the shade. So far, HonMonO, he will attempt to hunt this down, but he will lose a Marine. Yeah, one Marine does fall. So nice little pick up here by Harstem. He moves in with a second Adept. Now, checking the vision here, Harstem, I believe he has not gotten into the main base. He has seen the factory, but this is not enough of a tell. There could be a CC on the high ground. There could be, again, a hidden expansion for all Harstem knows. So this is not enough to really signify that it's going to be an all-in. Back at home, thankfully, he's getting a safety shield battery. We got Blink on the way. We have a second gateway, so it's going to be 2. I'm hoping for a third gate. Robo as well. Robo into third gateway. Very safe play here from Harstem, assuming we don't rush into a faster expansion. Now, Harstem, he does scout. He does confirm. Yeah, he spots the tank. He's aware of the one base all in. He sees the medevac more importantly. Boys are being pulled. And it's all or nothing for Harstem. Back at home, throwing down more shield batteries. Second pylon, second shield battery. More stalkers on the way. And HonMonO is going in. HonMonO, he is moving in. Likewise, probes are being pulled as well. So far, good response here by Harstem. SCVs have arrived, and HonMonO, can he focus down those stalkers in time? I mean, that second shield battery is almost done. The second shield battery is almost done. Bunker is denied. Oh, just barely. Shield battery does get cancelled. He's going to be cancelled, and it looks like Harstem, he has enough. He has enough. Whew, he will force this back just barely. The tank is going to be saved. There is a second tank on the way. Oh, no! Ooh, brutal tank bully. Yeah, tank shot's going to be going off. Reinforcements have arrived. The tank should be targeted down. He gets one. Gets one tank. It should get the other. Medevac as well. And with that, GG. Whew. GG. Well played, Harstem. He shuts down the tank. He shuts down the medevac. And Harstem does hold. Oh my god. Harstem, he holds, he takes game 1. Thankfully, the most important moment there was Harstem. He did scout the medevac in the center of the map. That instantly told him to get a shield battery, instantly told him to warp in back at home, so he was able to react in time. was able to hold on. GG. GG, well played. And that leads us into game number 2. Now, from the side of HonMonO, 1 base all-ins are not all that he does. He does proxy, he does a lot of 2 base all-ins. Personally, I would say that his 2 base all-ins are the most terrifying. We have seen HonMonO defeat Max Packs with these 2 base all-ins. We've seen him defeat Hero. Like HonMonO, there isn't a Protoss player out there that he hasn't beaten. So we'll see what build he goes for this time. That's what I'm most curious by here, is the build of choice. Last game, 1-1-1, 1 base all in. Game 2, what's it gonna be? Let's go. Let us go. After this series, we'll be going over the bracket, and we'll try to find another match and try to figure out where we're headed. As I mentioned before, ideally we do want to try to, the English casters I mean, do want to try to spread out and split off, especially early on, because eventually we're going to be casting all the same matches anyway later on in the broadcast. But I'll try to make sure that I can maybe find another match. Do my best. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our red Protoss player. We have our red Protoss representing Shopify, leading the series 1-0. It is Harstem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Okay, and now we're loading into Amygdala. Now, Amygdala is an interesting map. It is a much larger map than the map pool. Because of this, I do favor defensive play. I do favor players being more defensive, players holding on. The defender here is going to have a bigger advantage compared to even on Frostline even, as the bases are more defendable. Because of that, all-ins can work. I would suggest a later all-in. I would suggest, standard opener into a natural base, and then on 2 bases you build up and you set up. At the same time, the longer a game goes on, the more chances there are that your opponent's going to be scouting you and recognizing what you're up to as well. So there's a bit of a give and take when it comes to how later you want to try to be aggressive. So we'll keep an eye on HonMonO. I don't expect a 1 base all-in again. Straight up, I don't expect that here. There was no proxy, only 1 gas, CC. So single gas opener means it racks into command center here. Very safe play by HonMonO. I like the idea of him hiding the CC on the high ground, but it looks like he will throw it down the lower ground instead. I say that Harstem being as annoying as possible, he will delay. Will delay the CC. It's going to be force off center. Thankfully, it can float, it can lift, can reposition. Marine will zone away. And for now, economic start, which I do prefer. I do prefer this here by HonMonO. It's going to be an economic start. From here, then we can go into some later aggression. Well, we'll get there once the tech gets turned down. Meanwhile, Harstem, he can breathe easy. He can breathe easy here. He now recognizes, okay, my opponent's expanding. I can chill. I can calm down. I can maybe even be a little bit greedy. This is where, like, knowing the player, it comes into play. Despite the CC, the faster command center, aggression is still very much so on the table, so I would still prefer a bit of a safer build here by Harstem. Last thing I'd want to see is like a Stargate. Like, that'd be crazy, especially against HonMonO. And I don't think Harstem's that kind of player. Yeah, Twilight Council. So Twilight Council opener at Harstem, likewise fanning at his units, and soon settling into his own 2 bases. So far so good. Meanwhile, no surprise here, HonMonO, factory, 2nd racks. I expect a 3rd racks. I expect a 3rd racks at this one. Yep, there we go. 3rd racks has been thrown down. This build screams 2 base all in. Basically, what's happening here is that the starport is heavily delayed. Heavily delayed starport in favor of stim, combat shields, bio upgrades, bio production, and likewise, I was going to say early tank production as well. That is going to be an add-on swap into the factory. This is going to, I want to say, even weaken the 2 base push, but it is going to at least give HonMonO some map control and some scouting information as well. Hallucination does dive in. Hallucination doesn't see anything behind the racks, so limited vision. Hallucination does at least confirm the reactor on the factory, which makes it look normal. And I like this. We have, there we go. We have the initial double Hellion and then add-on switch. Then add-on switch into tank production, into bio, into stim, into combat shields, into everything else. The initial Hellions here, I mean, again, they're for map control, and we're gaining it. At least attempting to. Getting 1, getting the 2nd adept. Back at home, what do we have? We have once again, a very safe opener. We have how many gates? We have 2 gateways here at the natural. We have 1 gateway in the main, so 3 gate blink, safety robo before expansion. So safe play here by Harstem. Second pylon as well, just to be secure. No safety shield battery. I mean, not necessary here in this kind of game state before going for a 3rd expansion. So far, so good. So far, I'm liking the safe play here by our Protoss. Likewise, HonMonO is getting into his setup. Now, from here, he can either go into a starport and wait for his medevacs and then go for the all-in and pull the boys, or he can just pull the boys. He can just send it here with biotank and pull the boys and hit his timing with stim. So we'll see if he does go for that starport. Harstem is still building up. And we are waiting for that move out. Yeah, it looks like we are moving. So I was kind of theorizing, are we going to go into the starport or not? The answer is no. There is no starport. So no starport, no medevacs. This tells me that the stims here for HonMonO are going to be very limited. So very limited stims. He has to be very careful with how and when he does stim. Likewise, he should be pulling the boys with this as well. And there we go, the push does get spotted. Here we go, the boys are being pulled. And it's all or nothing for HonMonO. Oh, he's going to be forced to siege. He's being delayed. Harstem rotating around. Observer means he can blink into the main. And this is delaying HonMonO. Yeah, Harstem going for the main base. Oh, running into the tanks. There we go, blinks into the main. And HonMonO, what do we do? SB's under fire. Does he pull all the boys? It does turn around to fight. He came into everything he has, and we should be seeing a recall. We should be seeing a recall here from Harstem. He has to get home as quickly as possible. Picks up 1, 2 Marines. Not a bad start. Getting 3. 3 Marine kills. HonMonO, he does not want to waste the stim. Not yet. Bleeding out even more Marines. You know what? 2 shield barriers here at the expansion. Recall did complete. Did recall. And here we go, he's within range. Now, Harstem, he's evacuating. He's just giving up on the 3rd base, but this isn't enough damage. Like, killing the 3rd is nice. We need to kill the natural. We need to kill the natural base instead. Harstem coming in from behind. Oh, catching reinforcements. Gets a tank. Very nice pickup. Yeah, nice movement here from Harstem. HonMonO moving in. Leading out reinforcements. HonMonO, he still has 3 tanks, but he's about to be surrounded. Ooh, that's a robo depowered. That's a big pickup. Yeah, no robo. Likewise, Marines. Again, you have to be very careful with how and when you stim. Stalkers are revealed. He sees them. He knows. Does spot those Stalkers. Oh, SCVs, they overextend. They do overextend. There's 1 Immortal. 1 Immortal to defend. And again, Harstem has to take this slow. Now going in for the dive. He gets 1. Yeah, he gets 1 tank. Marines out of position. Gets a 2nd tank. And that should be game. As he should be get actually losing all of his Stalkers, but he should get the final tank. Yeah, he barely does. He gets a final tank, and now there's just not enough. There's not enough left over. There's 3 Marines. It was close. It was close. HonMonO, he did kill the production. He killed all the Stalkers. But alas, his reinforcements were called out, and he actually kept his reinforcements at home. Okay, so he still has somewhat of an army, but Harstem, he re-expands, takes another expansion. Looking at the unit source tab here, Harstem, he did not really lose many workers. He lost 19 Stalkers, which is expensive, true. He lost a lot of Stalkers. Trying to get his production back up and running. No 1 Immortal is barely alive. And HonMonO, he's getting ready for the 2nd wave. Now, because HonMonO did reset the Stalker counts, this is still going to be close. It's still going to be close, still going to be tense. Because he has been making SCVs, and he's gonna be able to pull the boys for a 2nd time, and this time with medevacs. Did HonMonO do enough damage? That I'm actually not certain of. Oh no, that's it on the coffin though. DT's Dark Shrine is a great way to respond to an all-in. just because, as you can imagine, scans are limited. Scans, they should be limited. As the boys are pulled for a second time, Observer does spot this. And you can see the Dark Templar waddling in. Do we have a scan? We do. There's the first scan. There's 2 more DTs. Oh, force fields will slow him down. Taking this slow. There's the second scan. There's 1 more Dark Templar. Good positioning here with the tanks. Yep, Harstem once again, he gives up on the base. Gives up on the expansion. Oh, wonder he has to be able to overextend. Takes down the Nexus. This time his reinforcements aren't getting called out, so he can just rally. He can just rally across the map without any concern. Pushing forward. There's 1 more, sorry, 2 more, 3 more Dark Templar. There's another scan. HonMonO pushing in. And Dark Templar does waddle forward. Oof. Another one goes down. Again, he has to be careful with those scans. Likewise, nice mine shots, nice kiting here against those Zealots. Zealots are going to be going down, but they take down the tanks. Yeah, tanks do fall. And with that, Harstem holds. Harstem, he holds on. Again, without those tanks, there's no real meat to this army. There's no backbone. HonMonO did kill an expansion, but Harstem, he is quick to rebuild. Rebuilds his base. HonMonO, he rotates. HonMonO is still up in army supply, true. And a head-on fight, I might even favor HonMonO here, especially as he catches out the Zealots. Very nice catch. Does shut them down. No shield batteries. Does have force fields though. Okay, just keeps wandering in with those Dark Templar. Yeah, there are still plenty of scans. There's a tower, there's a bunker back at home. DTs, they shouldn't get much done. HonMonO, he rotates once again. This time Zealots, they do hit towards the south. They get spotted.
Your base, you know.
HonMonO, he does spot this. Doesn't have much at home to defend. HonMonO, he gets spotted. Looking to push in, but last so many Zealots. Again, these DTs are so annoying. They're so annoying to deal with. Oh, nice mine connection. Mine shot on the sentry. Harstem still trying to catch reinforcements. He will be able to. Very nice catch. Takes down the Marines. And doesn't get the ghost. You know, HonMonO getting a third. A nice mine connection. Like HonMonO, he has been trading really efficiently. The problem here, of course, is that he's been all in and he's been throwing away SCVs. He now has gotten a third CC and he's attempting to get into the mid game, but I would say that HonMonO is behind here. Like HonMonO, he is in a worse position. He has a lot of recovering to do, and Harstem should be able to tech up. Checking his tech here, no splash damage yet. Right now, the kind of army that Harstem has is pretty reliant on HonMonO being the aggressor. He's hoping that HonMonO pushes into him. That's where Charger Archon can really thrive. When it comes to pushing into a defensive position, then less so. But DTs, they keep waddling in. Oh, Planetary will hold. As we did morph into Planetary as the third. When he rotates towards the south side, runs into the army. There goes! Oh no! Oh, he gets one! Yeah, one ghost goes down. Lands an EMP. That was an expensive loss here for HonMonO. Scan does catch a Dark Templar. Does catch him. Like those mine shots. Oh! Ooh, brutal connections. Mine shots, they pop up. Once again, like Harstem, he wants the Bio Army to push into him, but the Zealots are getting low. Zealots are getting low. More ghosts are building up. Harstem ready with the concave. We get some okay EMPs. Yeah, better EMPs towards the end. He shuts out most of the Archons. Ooh, but still he has to kite his heart out. Drags the army into the mines. Gets another Immortal and the Archon. Very nicely done. And you can see HonMonO, he's just out trading Harstem. Like Harstem, he overextends too many times into Widow Mines. And Harstem, he plummets in supply. He's in trouble here. His splash damage is very late. It's very late splash damage. Whether it would have been Colossus or Storm, heavily delayed. I mean, we're at 15 minutes. And without it, looks like HonMonO, he's done it. He has done it. The non-stop all-ins. He has broken Harstem. Harstem trying to hold on, and we just keep rallying in. Again, just really meticulous movement here from HonMonO. Breaks down the army, breaks through the Stalkers, the sentries, everything. And there's nothing left. GG gets called, and HonMonO, he will overwhelm. He will take game number 2. Whew. GG. We are going into that ace match. And again, Harstem, he was able to survive, that is true, but again, maybe tunnel visioning a little bit too much. Like, he was able to save his expansions and start working towards the 4th base, but as we pointed out, without any splash damage for that long, we saw that the Terran army was just so efficient there. Also, shout out to HonMonO when it came to his unit control. He was able to just pick away at the Archons, Immortals, Zealots, just be very meticulous with his engagements, and traded quite nicely. Did trade quite nicely. And with that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. And we'll see how this story ends. We'll see who's able to take it. So we are getting ready. Likewise, we'll be catching up with the rest of the bracket after this match. We'll get there. I guess to update the title as well. For now, it looks like game 3. Ooh, Whispers of Gold. Okay, so I was very concerned about what map we were going to be loading into. Whispers of Gold. This is going to be an interesting one. Whispers of Gold is known for being a rush map. This is a rush map. This is known for aggression, known for all-ins. This is where a player like HonMonO can thrive. And now I'm a little bit concerned for Harstem, but we'll see. We'll see what builds we go for. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have our red Protoss player. We have a red Protoss from the land of the Netherlands representing Shopify. It is Harstem. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself, representing Team Hyper 1 from the land of South Korea. It is HonMonO. We go. If he mulls his dead. Yeah, the previous game with all the DTs, it was very tense, very tense. Like, thankfully, HonMonO, he wasn't muling, did have plenty of scans available. He was an animal type, the animal. HonMonO. One of his many nicknames, yes. He will not stop. He doesn't know how. Ay. Oh, and we have the beginning of something different here. 2x. So it's going to be, I imagine, 2x Reaper initial. Are we going for a third? Okay. Let him cook. Are we going 3x Reaper here for HonMonO? Are we going into bio into a stim timing? I'm curious. I mean, regardless, Harstem is coming in for the scout. And I believe the scout is going to be denied. The scout is denied. Reapers are on the way. Just the one for the time being. I'm curious if we go Reaper into Tech Lab, into rushing into Stim, into a Stim timing, or if we just commit into Mass Reaper. As Harstem, he's denied the scout. He doesn't know what's going on. Based on the Rex's locations, I imagine, I guess, Reaper, just because it's closer. Yeah, it's right next to the Reaper cliff. Harstem back at home, standard opener. And this can very quickly get out of hand. Oh boy. Very quickly. Harstem pulling away. Checking for proxies. I don't blame him. Again, HonMonO, he's known for being a very cheesy player. Hyper aggressive. So Harstem, he's searching. Likewise, so is HonMonO. Was building up his Reapers. Adept moves out. And back at home, there's just the one gateway. Oh, gate, okay, into Twilight Council. So Twilight Council opener into Blink. The boys, the boys are being pulled with this. Okay, Reaper takes a lot of hits. So far, good control. Yeah, this Adept is going to go down. Massive pickoff, and now we commit. Back at home, we need a wall up. Shield batteries on the way. 2 shield batteries here at the natural. We have an Adept as well. Stalkers on the way. It's going to be 1 Stalker, 1 Adept, and I would like to see these boys being pulled to the low ground just so they can be used to defend, to help wall, to help buffer. But right now the probes are being kept in the main. They're being kept in the main base. Reapers, they head for the main. They dip back towards the natural. Shield batteries are finishing up just in time. Oh, first Reaper almost goes down. Boys, they surround the initial Stalker. But a second Stalker has arrived. With all these shield batteries, I don't think this Reapers have enough firepower here, I'll be honest. He's getting probe damage. The shield batteries are running out of NG. 1 Reaper goes down. Yeah, he gets the first Reaper. 2 more shield batteries are done. Yeah, there's so many shield batteries. And you can see here that Harstem, he's holding. Harstem, he's holding on. God, just so many shield batteries. And we have more on the way. More shield batteries. And alas, there's no way into the main base either. It does knock down one of the shield batteries. Gets 2. Meanwhile, Adept out of range. Harstem, he does overextend. He gets a second Reaper. Yeah, 2 Reapers so far. And this is not really working here. Again, it's taken too long. More boys are being pulled. HonMonO getting desperate. There are just far too many here. I mean, the goal would be to try to lock down the Stalkers, but even then, I don't know if there's just not enough DPS to just out damage the healing. We're gonna find out. Gonna find out here. As the boys have arrived. Likewise, probes being pulled. What are we going for? We're going for the Sentry. Bleeding out a 3rd Reaper. Yeah, Sentry does survive. Reapers, they bust into the mineral line. Okay. They race past. They kill some probes. This is not enough, though. Like, killing probes is nice, but he does try to force a fight out of range. Gets a Sentry, gets an Adept, but he's running out of Reapers. Yeah, he's bleeding out far too much. Bleeding out far too many Reapers. And Harstem, he should be okay. Harstem, he holds. He holds. He loses the first Stalker. But from here, the Reapers, they've just run out of steam. They run out of momentum. And Harstem, he is going to be able to hold on. This is a crazy build out of HonMonO, by the way. It's a crazy build. And with that, he has nothing left. He has nothing left. There it is. GG. Good luck in the next round. And Harstem will take the series 2-1. Will advance on into that round of 16. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Harstem, he will take it. He will survive HonMonO. GG, well played. Impressive that HonMonO was able to force the ace match, but Harstem did persevere. Again, that was a really weird build in game 3. Like, I'll be honest, I've never quite seen that before, going 3-Rax Reaper and pulling the boys as well. But Harstem, once he saw the Reapers, he was so quick to throw down those shield batteries. As you saw, the wall of shield batteries did play a massive part there in that defense. And with that, impressive. GG. GG, well played. Impressive defense there. Does hold on. And that is going to lead us into our next matchup. Now, we're in a really awkward spot, I would say. So let's switch our scenes over and catch up on the brackets. We can follow our players, of course, into another series. Let's see if I can move this around.